All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, this week, the Milwaukee Bucks have been busy in regards to trying to keep their two-time MVP Giannis Antetonkounmpo happy on their roster. They've done some wheeling and dealing to try to get over the hump and potentially get that NBA championship. Now, this week we saw the Bucks acquire veteran point guard Jrue Holiday from the New Orleans Pelicans and forward Bogdan Bogdanovic from the Sacramento Kings. And in doing so, Milwaukee sent DJ Wilson, Dante DiVincenzo, and Ersan Ilyasova to Sacramento, while New Orleans will receive Eric Bledsoe, George Hill, and 3 first-round draft picks. Now, the Bucks, did give up some of their depth to make these moves happen. But you just have to ask yourself, are these moves going to be enough to get Milwaukee over the hump in the Eastern Conference while also keeping Giannis happy? I'm not sure of it. I mean, Jrue Holiday is a better shooter, and he's also a better floor general, while, Bogdanovic is a perimeter shooter as well. But I think, the Bucks' biggest problem is, they still have to find a way to consistently run a half-court offense, because a lot of what Milwaukee was doing during the regular season or in the last couple of years, it didn't transcend to the postseason. And a lot of what they did was in transition. And, you can't consistently beat teams in transition. You got to find a way to slow the game down and run a half-court offense first and foremost. Number two, in the case of Giannis, he's not a perimeter player. Giannis is at his best when he's playing the post. And, I've been saying it for the last couple of years. He just needs to work on the mid-range game. Work on that jump shot between 12 and 15 feet and be able to knock that down consistently. He's not a perimeter player. He's not a three-point shooter. And that's something that he does not do enough of. And I think the other biggest takeaway from this Milwaukee Bucks team, and it starts with Giannis, they're not tough enough mentally. We saw it 2 years ago when they got to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they were up 2-0 on the Toronto Raptors, and the Toronto came back and bullied them to win the last 4. We saw that this year in the postseason down in the bubble where, I figured they were going to have to work to beat the Miami Heat in that second round series. And not only did they have to work, they got embarrassed because Miami basically punched them in the mouth, and Miami won that series in 5 games. And honestly, Milwaukee should be thankful that they even got that game. So, it's a situation where the Bucks have given up a lot in the hopes of keeping Giannis happy. But I have bad news for Milwaukee and their fans. I don't see a situation where Giannis stays there. I really don't. And at the end of the day, you're going to look at this. You're going to look at everything that the Bucks gave up, and they're going to be starting over again this time next year. But you're going to think back to the players that they gave up to make these trades happen. And more importantly, you're going to look at the draft picks that they gave up to make these trades happen. I don't see a situation where Giannis stays. As good as he is individually, he is not the guy that's going to get the Bucks a championship. Giannis is another example of a quality 2 guy. He needs to go someplace and feed off of somebody else who is the guy in order to win a championship. I think it's another situation. We've seen it before in this current NBA where guys are trying to get team up with their buddies or go to this place and go to that place. It's a situation where, Giannis is a big fish in a small pond, and he could do it in Milwaukee. There's no pressure. Obviously, that pressure intensifies when you go to the postseason because, you want to win that championship. You want to win that title to, solidify and validate your status as one of the better players of your era. It ain't happening for him in Milwaukee. It's not happening with this current regime in Milwaukee. So it's a good look by the Bucks front office to try to make this work. But at the end of the day, I think they're going to be left holding the bag. Right now, honestly, I think Giannis has one foot out the door already. And I really do believe the way that they were dominated in the playoffs during this bubble versus the Miami Heat really solidified that. These moves are pretty, but at the end of the day, all it is going to be window dressing. I wouldn't be surprised this time next year if we're talking about Giannis playing with the Golden State Warriors or Giannis playing with the Miami Heat. I know that the Bucks did give up a lot to get Giannis to make these trades to potentially keep Giannis happy, but I think at the end of the day, their best case scenario this time next year is a sign and trade for Giannis to see if they can get something back to try to recoup those losses and start over. But for anybody who thinks that this Bucks team is going to win a title with Giannis leading the way, think again, because it simply is not going to happen. So, folks, that's it. And I want to take this time out to thank you once again for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to thank all of the subscribers out there. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There is also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. Take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.